Okay, what now? I am going to tell you guys the story of Cronus. I am taking a mythology class right now at CSM, Classical Mythology, English 257, and I read about the myth of Cronus today, and it's kind of disturbing and kind of funny and kind of interesting. I thought I'd just share it with you guys. So basically, there was the sky god Uranus, ha ha ha, and the earth god Gaia, and they had a bunch of kids, and one of them, the last one, was Cronus, and Uranus hated all of his kids, and he hid them and wouldn't allow them to come out into daylight. And Gaia went to all of her kids and said, hey, you guys want to get revenge on your dad for being such a douchebag and not allowing you to come out in the daylight. And none of them wanted to do it except for Cronus. He was like, sure, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do this revenge thing. So Gaia gave Cronus Sith and told him, okay, you're going to hide in ambush. And then she waited until Uranus came and was going to have sex with her. And while they were doing the deed, Cronus came out from hiding with his Sith and castrated his dad. And all of the blood that came out and landed on the earth gave birth to Aphrodite, which is the goddess of love, because nothing says love like having your genitals chopped off by your son. So then, later on, Cronus marries his sister, Rhea, and they have 12 kids, and with each kid that came along, beforehand, Cronus had heard a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him. So every time Rhea would have a child, Cronus would eat the baby so that the prophecy couldn't come true. So Rhea goes to her parents, which were Gaia and Uranus, and says, hey, you got to hide me away from Cronus because he keeps eating our kids. And they were like, okay, sure. And they hid her in another city, and she gave birth to their 12th kid, who was Zeus. And they hid him away from Cronus so that Cronus wouldn't eat him. And then when she came back from having given birth, she gave Cronus a blanket that was covering rocks. And Cronus ate that, thinking that it was a baby. And then Zeus was able to grow up, and he eventually overthrew Cronus and became Zeus, the almighty god, sky god. But and that's all that I know of Cronus at this point. I don't know if there's any more to his story, but there you go. So basically, castration and baby eating and deception and feeding rocks to your spouse, who's also your brother. The Greeks were really weird. I think that's the basic lesson to be learned from this. But it's kind of interesting. We're just a couple of weeks in to the class, and if anything else comes up that's really bizarre and interesting like this, maybe I'll share it with you guys. Thanks for watching, because YouTube without you would be yappy.